Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who Invited Her? We are San Diego's LGBTQ pop culture podcast. We are the longest running LGBTQ pop culture podcast in San Diego. We are here today out at the fair, you guys.
We're
actually
out
here.
at the fair.
Out at the fair. You can hear them in the background.
Yep.
We're going to be here all day from 11 to 6, I believe.
It's a long-ass day.
Yeah. It's a long-ass day. Oh, I'm Tony, by the way. I'm here with my other host.
I'm Daddy Bear Eric.
I'm Brynne. I'm here.
And on the board today, we have firefighter Stephen. Wave. Put your this way. There he is.
Yeah.
So we are at the fair. There's a lot of vendors here. They're going to have entertainment all day. We saw the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence is
yes,
here.
they're here. Love
We're
it.
right near the Human Rights League, which is going to be cool. They're going to have drag shows, performers. We're going to be here all day talking crap, pretty much. Not really.
No, yeah.
Not really.
We'll be encouraging.
Encouraging.
You know?
I did. So I wanted to give a little background on the San Diego Fair.
Love it.
What do you guys think, really quick?
I want you to, yeah.
So we are at the San Diego Fair, the San Diego County Fair, I should be saying. And then they do one day out of the fair season. They do out at the fair, which we are doing today. But for all you people who don't know about the county fair, because you're not in San Diego, actually the fair began in 1880 as an agricultural fair.
That makes sense because they still have like all the sections.
And the location changed year after year for several years until they settled here in Del Mar Fairgrounds in 1936. But the fair's name started in 1954. The whole name was the Southern California Exposition and San Diego County Fair. That was the whole freaking name when it first started. Can you believe that? And then in 1970, it was shortened to the Southern California Exposition. The fair was again renamed in 1984 as the Del Mar Fair. See, that's when I knew
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
Del
the
Mar
year
Fair.
I was born.
Which lasted until 2002 when the name San Diego County Fair was reinstated. It is sometimes still referred to as the Del Mar Fair by locals.
I call it the Del Mar Fair.
I do too.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah.
Did you also know that the fair held a beauty pageant?
What?
Yes, from 1936 through 2003.
Yeah, I would love to bring it back.
But get this, the fair included a beauty pageant. The winner originally was called Queen of the Fair.
Oh, you could enter it, Eric.
1947, the title changed to the Fairest of the Fair.
Stupid.
Wow, that's terrible.
You know that they were in a room, they're like, you know what? You know what's really going to sell? Call it the Fair.
Guess what the court? The Fair is.
And everyone was like, oh, shit, yes.
Do you know what her court was called?
Oh, God, what?
Yes, it was called the Court of Lovelies.
The Court of Lovelies.
That's awful.
That sounds so pedophile. Oh, my lovelies.
And they would make like appearances throughout the year, public appearances, and
That's
all
cute.
of that kind of stuff. Let's see. Oh, so there was a very famous actress actually won.
Is it Raquel Welch?
Yes. How did you know that?
Because I know she's from San Diego.
Yeah. Guess it. Her original name was Raquel Tejada.
Yeah, she's yeah.
And then it became Raquel Welch. She won the title, I want to say, in 1958.
I actually know a fair amount about Raquel Welch.
Why? That's so random.
I just like her a lot, and I know she's from here, and I know that she became famous after she had kids. Like she got married and had kids, and then
yeah,
she's like, "Who is this?"
She's
chick?
like, "Keep away." I was like, "I'm Raquel. I love you."
I'm Raquel.
I have all of
what's
her
your
wigs
favorite
in her
Raquel
wig
Welch
line.
movie? Do you even
I
have
think
her favorite Raquel Welch?
when she was on Seinfeld, she was very
She
good.
was on Seinfeld?
Yeah. She played like super angry, shouldn't move her hands, and she was in a play. And
like
yeah.
I'm kidding. Eric, who's like your favorite old school movie star?
Old school movie
Yeah.
star?
That's a great question.
God, that's like on the
'Cause
spot.
Well, because you don't really follow.
No.
Oh, who was the one? I love Betty Davis.
Oh, everyone loves
Davis.
Betty Davis.
What's that favorite Betty Davis movie?
My favorite Betty Davis
All
movie.
About Eve.
I love All About Eve.
All About
God,
Eve.
that's such a good movie.
Some
I
of, like,
just
the
watched that.
best lines.
Yeah, there was like this one where she was on a cruise
Yeah.
and she was like supposed to be ugly even though she's a beautiful woman, and then she like turns beautiful and she murders someone.
If you guys are watching the video,
Whatever happened to
you
Baby
see
Jane
that?
is wild.
Caesar. There's
Cesar. We had a
never
Cesar
makes an
spotting.
appearance.
We had a Cesar
Never makes an
spotting.
appearance on the show. He's right there.
He's always off camera somewhere.
Always off camera, doing shit. Look at him. Look
what
at
about
him
you?
getting all butch.
What about you, Tony?
Huh?
What's your favorite? Yeah.
old- Okay, God, I love a Joan Crawford. I love Victoria Swanson.
Ooh.
I love Betty Davis.
Betty Davis.
I'm trying to think who is the one in Rear Window with
Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly. I loved her in that movie though. And
She's
then
great.
there was a biopic called Grace of Monaco.
Yeah.
Where Nicole Kidman played Grace Kelly. It's a really good movie.
I mean, you know how I feel about
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman.
I know you. Anyways, we're not going down the Nicole
not
Kidman.
gonna- no,
What's
Nicole
your
Kidman.
favorite Nicole Kidman movie then?
My favorite Nicole Kidman movie is The Hours. I think she's very
Hours
good in
is
it.
great.
But the Drop Dead.
Gorgeous.
It's not Drop Dead
I
Gorgeous.
know.
It's the one where she plays the reporter. God, what the fuck
die
is it
a
called?
little later.
Die-
no.
It's To Die For.
To Die For. See,
Yes,
we were
To
close.
Die For.
We
We're
were
super
so
close. She was
We
so
had
good in that
one word
movie.
right in that
Yes.
whole sentence.
I
Die.
think die. I mean, somebody dies in it.
Which this podcast is
based on a
do
true
after
story.
this. It is. It is based on a true story. for real.
So I loved her in that one.
Wait,
You know, I want her-
Firefighter Steven, what is your favorite? Here, what is your
Yeah,
favorite?
take my mic.
No, you
Oh,
have
he
the
has his
mic
own
today.
mic.
Look at him.
What?
Is
Look
it
at us.
on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. What is your favorite old school actress?
That's tough because what era are we referring to? Are we
Or
talking
like-
about like Greta
Just any-
Garbo?
Yes.
Yeah, like Veronica
oh,
Lake or
Like Veronica Lake is a fox. Like
Right?
you cannot go wrong with
Yeah.
Veronica Lake.
Silverstone doesn't count.
that is what like a Gen X would say.
Yes. it
Alicia
was.
Silverstone.
What about? What about? Who was the one I was thinking? Greta
Trying to think
Garbo.
like Gloria Swanson or
yeah,
all
old
of
school.
those.
That's a
old
good
ones.
one.
Yeah.
Firefighter Steven.
Lana Turner,
Lana
whose
Turner.
daughter killed
Rita-
her husband.
Rita Hayworth?
Rita Hayworth is
No.
Latina,
She is, and then they made her.
and they made her change her name
Rita
and all that
Moreno.
stuff. Yep.
You know, was it Rita Moreno that was in that old? Like, if you guys out there have not seen The Ritz, the classic,
Oh,
you turned me
yes.
on to this. Wasn't it Rita Moreno when she does the song from Dreamgirls?
Yeah.
Oh.
Her shoe flies. One of the best comedic performances in
she
that
does a
movie.
performance in a gay
Bathhouse.
Oh.
But it's so like
Yeah.
she's purposely being
Yeah,
bad.
that's hilarious.
It is so great. It's
Oh,
called The Ritz.
I love her.
So good.
It was
hilarious.
like in 1970. I want to say the early
Ooh,
70s.
I love those 70s
Oh,
movies.
it's
They're so
good.
ridiculous.
If you haven't seen it, The Ritz, it's worth checking out. Oh, nice. From Mama's
Thank
Bake
you.
Shop. Nice.
Mom's
Thank
Bake
you,
Shop.
Mama's
Oh, thank
Bake
you.
Shop.
Thank you.
But we are going to be broadcasting all day, but yeah.
We started the history of the fair,
Fair, yeah.
and then now we're talking about
About-
Rita Moreno in a gay bathhouse.
Exactly.
So, you know,
Tracks.
this is going to be a long day,
it's
guys.
gonna be a long day.
Oh, we're
gonna
getting
take a
it.
couple breaks here and there.
Yeah. Okay.
Drinks.
Get some drinks. Are we drinking today? Getting
We are
back
at the fair. I don't think that you can, you know. I don't.
Says who?
Says who? Oh, they're
Oh, I
just,
was
yeah,
listening.
they're doing. Yeah, they're
You guys will
doing
be
the
right back.
opening. Yeah.
Hey everybody, we are back. And we actually have a little special guest.
We have a guest.
Yeah,
yes.
Arron from VIDA, which is an organization here in San Diego. Don't get nervous.
Yeah.
It'll only hurt at the very beginning. That's it. It'll go in nice and no, I'm kidding. Okay, first of all, let everybody know what VIDA is and what you guys do, the organization.
Absolutely. So we are an organization that provides HIV home test kits in the community. We are mainly at Urban Mo's every Wednesday, and
Awesome.
we occasionally do the Church of Glam on Sundays at Mo's. That's mainly that's what we do. But we also do feeding the homeless program every Christmas, and we're going to provide 600 goodie bags for the homeless this
Oh,
Christmas.
wow.
Yeah. So a lot of work in the community, mainly HIV testing kits. Feeding the homeless in Christmas, and we also provide scholarship programs for the gay Latino population.
That's amazing.
So we do provide 3 scholarships a year
Okay.
for the amount of $1,000 each, and this is mainly for the San Diego gay Latino population, and also for the Tijuana gay Latino population.
Oh, nice.
And if people are interested, like if they want to participate in the scholarship, how do they go about applying for it and stuff?
Absolutely. So we would ask you for you to visit our website, and it has more information on what the requirements are for the scholarship. Our website is VIDA. Oh my God. VIDA.community. It says it's weird. It's not.
VIDA.community.
It's not a org or com. It's
Okay.
It's VIDA.community as is, and we have all the information there.
How long has the organization been around? When did you guys start?
So it's actually going to be our 10-year anniversary this year. So yes,
Wow.
so we've been in the community for about 10 years. I've only been with VIDA for about 6 months, but the organization has been there for about 10 years now. So we're gonna have a big party in October to celebrate our 10-year anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how did it start? Whose brainchild was Vida's?
So Esteban, our president,
Yeah.
CEO, he's around there.
Is it the one we met earlier?
Yeah. So
he was like, no, I don't want to get on. Where's the right? This one on the mic."
Yeah. He's the one that signed me up for this.
Yeah.
No, I'm here. Esteban, he's our president, and he's the one that started with VIDA. He wanted to provide help to our Latino population. There is a lot of health and disparities in the gay Latino population. So his objective was to bring this testing kits to the community, and I mean, we've been going strong for 10 years now. So
And you offer outreach for both Spanish and English speakers, right? That's
Correct.
fantastic.
So and we like to. I mean, we give out this test kits, and if someone is positive, we try to help people navigate the system to get the care that they need.
Yeah.
You kind of point them in the right direction,
Absolutely.
give them the steps they need.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Because I know, like, the Latino community, maybe there's a stigma with it, with being gay and especially being HIV positive. They may feel lost, like there's nowhere to go that specializes just for them.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing it with VIDA, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
And if the people want to find the services, they just go to the website
VIDA.community.
Community.
That's our phone is there, and I mean, you can find us every Wednesday at most.
Every
from
Wednesday
5
at
to
most.
8 p.m. So that's
5
our
to 8 p.m.
normal
There you go.
working hours. At
Nice.
You guys usually have a table set up, right?
We're actually and
In
we
front of-
normally go to a few events. I mean, we're always asking the community to invite us to their events so we can provide the test kits. So
Nice. And here you are Out at the Fair. This is our first time at Out at the Fair.
okay, cool.
It's been cool.
Yeah.
Here he is.
And here's our president.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys have your the 10-year anniversary in October.
Correct.
Nice. And
Yes.
then when it comes to the services, you guys you do the home kits. You provide HIV services for the people. Do you guys go down to TJ and do it too, or is it mostly in San Diego?
I mean, we've never gone to TJ, but we do work with other organizations that do help us provide this testing kits in TJ. But we don't do any services in TJ.
Okay.
I mean, we would love to, but
that's a
I
lot
guess
of logistics, probably.
Yeah,
it
I'm
sounds
sure.
Like
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Well, that's amazing.
I know. I'm glad we have something like that focuses on the Latino community
Yeah,
in San Diego, because there's a huge community.
Yes.
We're literally Mexico is our sister. So
right.
it's
So
awesome.
that's one of the main things that we do. And I mean, I guess the main objective is help our Latino community navigate through the system.
Yeah. Which can be very tricky for especially somebody who's not an English speaker.
Correct.
So it's nice that even if they have a guide like you guys to kind of navigate them and tell them where to go, this is how you operate the system to get the care that you need.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
And you can go to VIDA.community.
VIDA.community.
To get all the information and all that, and we'll have it on our website.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arron.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, it was painless.
Thank you.
To make them go, to make them go, to make them go. Boom, from the top to the bottom, to the front, to the back. I'll make them go, I'll make them go. Boom, from side to side, from left to right. I'll make them go.
We're back.
We're back.
And we have Teddy Martin, who just performed here
Yes.
at Out of the Fair. How are you, Teddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
First of all, for the podcast listeners who are not watching us on YouTube and out on TV, your outfit.
It is the most
you.
fantastic
Thank you.
outfit ever.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I've had this suit for like 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
did?
And so it just stays in my closet until it's time for me to perform. But even when I perform, I don't wear it all the time.
Yeah.
So it stays in like a little Batman garment bag that somebody made for me.
And for the audio listeners, I'm going to describe it. It's like the Batman kapow blam cartoon drawings all over this white suit, and it is so cool.
Jeweled.
And it's yes.
Drag queen actually did this for me.
Yeah.
Did it for me because I don't have the patience.
I couldn't. You know what? I couldn't either. I'd be like, I after like one drink, one stone, I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm good.
I tried.
So you perform? Is this your first time performing at Out at the Fair?
Yes.
Oh,
it was my
nice.
first time. It's my first show since October.
Okay.
that I've
okay.
done. So they gave me a call maybe like a couple of months ago. They were like, hey, we would love to book you for the fair. And I was like, what? So we were living in Ohio. Me and my fiance were living in Ohio at the time.
Oh, wow.
And so we actually decided to move our moving date because I got booked for this show.
Oh, welcome
And
to San
yes,
Diego.
thank you.
Wait, this is you're new to San Diego.
Well,
then.
no, I don't live in San Diego. I live in Newport Beach.
Okay,
So
okay.
I
That's
came down
up the
here.
street.
Yeah. So, and I actually am a preschool teacher as well, too. So I
Wow.
also teach 3 to 6. I work at a Montessori school.
Okay.
Wow.
So, like, it's literally my jobs are like night and day.
Oh,
Yes.
So wait, so for anybody who doesn't know, how did you get started in music? Where did it come from? All of that.
So, like, growing up, I was like really shy and I didn't have like a lot of friends.
Yeah.
So, like, my mother had this in my bedroom. She put like, like those little mirrors that you can kind of look at yourself in. You
Yeah.
hang on the back of your door. I would dance in front of that every day. So it got to the point where like my mom had to take the carpet out of the bedroom in the house because I had worn it down. So I've been dancing since I was like 10.
Yeah.
And then I started doing music maybe about 10 years ago. And then I started off writing poetry, which I was like really bad at. really bad. And then I got better. And then now we're here.
Yeah.
That's like
Now
the
you're
shorter.
here.
That's like the
Short
Short
version.
story. Yes.
shorter version of it.
How would you describe your music for people who are not familiar with it?
It's fun. It's friendly. It's positive. It's reassuring. It's for everyone.
And it's catchy.
And I try to make it. Thank
It's
you.
catchy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I try to make it as catchy as possible so
Yes.
everybody's able to sing. I always say it like this: if your grandmother can listen to my music, then everybody can listen to it.
I love that.
Because his grandma, my fiance's grandmother, was like, "Hey,
Wait, is that your fiance?
that's my fiance right there."
Sparkly shirt. Sparkly shirt.
So his grandmother told me one time, she goes, I'm glad that you don't do all that cursing in your music because I can't get down with that. So I make very family-friendly music.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have songs that like I made like almost 10 years ago where like
Sure.
I'm dropping F-bombs and like I'll hear them
Yeah.
now and I'm like, oh.
What was I thinking?
Where is your inspiration? Like, name your top musical
Michael.
inspiration. Michael Jackson.
Going,
Uh,
and Janet.
I'm
Janet
going,
is coming
I'm
here.
going tomorrow.
Yeah,
She's
she
here in
is.
Chula Vista.
I am so jealous right now.
I forgot about that,
so
Eric.
jealous.
You're going to
Yes.
see Janet tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That's
I
going to
want
be a good
everybody to know
show.
that I'm jealous of you right now.
Have you ever seen her?
Information so I can like.
Watch my stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen her in concert?
No. So my first concert was actually. You're gonna laugh. I don't really claim it as my first concert. My
Okay.
first concert was Bow Wow.
Wow.
Wait, Little Bow Wow?
Yeah.
That's
at the
throwback.
Ohio State Fair.
Oh,
But my real concert I like claimed that was like the first one I ever went to was the Justified and Strip tour with Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera. But
That's
my
a good one.
favorite
yeah.
Was the Pussycat Dolls and Brynne. That was my
Oh,
favorite.
That would
that
have
was
been
a
a
good
great
that
one.
tour was
I rem-
amazing.
I think that was around the same time I saw Christina Aguilera doing Back to Basics with Dan Diddy Kane. It was their opener.
And the Pussycat Dolls went on tour with Christina Aguilera like
Yeah.
twice.
I saw them one to open for her.
Yeah.
Yes,
They
that's
opened
right.
up for the Black Eyed Peas too.
Oh, yeah.
I saw them. Yeah.
They were good live.
Yes, they were. Yes.
So
yes,
good.
Yes.
I know. We go
My
total
actual
tangent.
first tour was Janet the Velvet Rope. with NSYNC too. NSYNC
NSYNC?
opened. They weren't even famous
I
yet.
know.
So Velvet Rope was like my favorite album,
It was
by the
so-
way. It was so naughty.
It
and
was
I was
so
like,
good.
young, and I'm like, I shouldn't be listening to this
To the-
right
but
now.
you were.
But I was listening to it anyway.
We were all listening in secretive with headphones on.
Okay.
Yes.
So you write your own music then?
Yes, I do.
How do you start the process of writing a song? Because every musician is different.
So funny story. I actually just got my high school diploma last year.
Oh,
I'm like
congrats.
segue into like this. So
Yeah.
last year, I
Wait, you got your what diploma?
high school diploma last year.
Oh
I'm
my
like
God, you
new-
are a baby.
So
How
actually-
how old are you?
So I'm actually 36, but I'm like,
Wait, are you really 36?
yeah, I'm serious.
Oh my God, I thought you were.
Yeah, I thought you were
look
like
way
25,
younger.
24.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a,
You're
so
so baby compared to me. Okay, go ahead.
so I decided I took some time off last year to work on getting my high school diploma.
Yeah.
So during that time, I would get up in the morning, I would work on like whatever I needed to work on, and then I would work on music all day. So what I would do is I would just kind of like put different instruments together, and then I would start writing like how I would want it to sound like. What kind of song would this be? Like, what would I want this to?
Yeah.
How would I want to? What do I want to talk about in this? So that's how I kind of put my music together.
Oh,
and
nice.
because it's just positive. It's fun. It's for everybody to like listen to, even if you're not a big fan of rap music.
Yeah.
I guess you can say, or even pop music. Like this is for everybody.
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 I
Yeah.
love that.
I
And
love
it's a
that.
good vibe.
Yeah.
We were hearing
Oh,
you
yeah.
while we were recording.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. I see what he's doing up
Yeah,
there.
That's why I moved back to California.
Yeah.
So I could perform a lot more because
Yeah.
Ohio's music scene isn't really like.
Are you
Well,
originally from Ohio?
Yes,
Born and
my
raised?
fiance's from SoCal.
Oh,
He's from Long
okay.
Beach and Compton.
Okay.
He's the
Nice.
SoCal.
He's the
lead.
SoCal one.
Nice.
I actually
Nice.
met him. He was actually my Uber driver in 2017.
Wait a
Look
minute.
at
You
you.
guys-
This is
No,
that's
wait,
a
wait.
story.
There's a
Are you ready for this too?
Yes.
So not only was he my Uber driver, but I was also engaged to somebody else who was 10 years younger than me.
Wow.
So wait, how did you guys like? How did
Yeah,
it go
how
from
does it go from a
Uber driver?
driver-
and now you guys-
So when
From
we
5 stars to engage. Like, how does that happen?
I took my ex out to LA.
Wait, was your ex in the Uber with you?
Yes.
Oh,
It even gets
It's
better.
not what you think. It's not what you think. So the Uber picked us up and we got in and it was him.
Okay.
And we vibed really well because he was actually dating someone at the time too. And so we vibed really well. I ended up moving back to Ohio, and a year later, me and my now ex decided to move to California. So we moved back. We linked up with him. We hung out with him, and then me and my ex ended up breaking up. And I needed somewhere to go. And he was like, "Hey, none of my roommates pay rent, and I know you will. So do
Yeah.
you want to move in with me?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah! I don't want to go back to Ohio."
Yeah.
So we moved in, and then our lease was up, and then we actually ended up moving in with his grandparents in Compton for like 2.5 years. So then we started dating. So I got to like know his family, date
Oh,
him.
nice.
It's like a whole thing over the
You
past-
kind of reversed it.
First
You got
it,
to
yeah.
know everyone first. And then
Yes,
start.
yes.
That's actually kind of a
yes,
smart way to do
yes,
things because you know
yes.
what you're getting into.
Yes.
you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And then I took him home for Thanksgiving 2019. He met my family.
Aw.
And then we moved back to Ohio during the pandemic to like be close to my parents, and then my parents sold their house and moved to
Yeah.
Florida. And then we were like, let's just move back to California because my parents aren't here anymore. And now here we are.
There you
Wow.
go.
We've been
Welcome
together for
back.
almost 5 years now.
Oh, that's like
Congratulations.
what, like 20 engagements?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
20.
That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It is. Well, no, my old producer, we were together 14 years.
Yeah.
Robbie and I. Yeah.
Did it go by fast?
No, it took forever. Sorry, Rob. Steven laughs. Actually, for our listeners, producer Rob's going to be in town next week. He's going to make
Yeah.
a little appearance on the show for all of you
Nice.
old school listeners. So
Nice.
get ready for that.
Are you guys gonna go hang out?
Yeah, we're really, really good
That's
friends.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
After that long of a time, it's hard not
it's
to
not
be
the hard.
good
It's not hard.
friends.
to
Yeah,
separate.
you gotta
It's
be.
hard not to be.
Yeah, and it was a decent
Yeah.
breakup. So yeah.
I feel like I'm like pretty cool with most of my exes. I don't talk to them, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, I mean, they all live in Ohio, so it's
That
not
makes
like-
it easier.
That makes it a lot easier. I don't gotta talk to you or see you.
I
Cool.
have a music question for you.
Yes.
So right now on yours, whatever you listen to, Spotify, iHeartRadio, what is your top like artist that you're listening to and like your go-to song right now?
Okay. I love Lizzo.
I was actually listening to Lizzo yesterday on
She
a work
is
call.
my favorite new artist.
She's so
Yeah, she's so
Um,
good.
good. Have you seen her concert on HBO Max? Oh, wasn't it amazing?
Yes.
God, I want to see her in person.
Had a little bit of wine and
Oh,
sat
she
there and
put
like
on a
watched
fucking
it.
good
And I got up
show.
and shook my butt a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it was nice.
Yeah.
But Special would have to be like my favorite song by her
Which
so
one?
far. Special
Oh, special
is my favorite.
Great.
That's like on like one of my playlists right now on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her newest. Well, I remember before, and I've told this on the show. I remember before she even became big, when she was before her first song came out, when she was doing more like a rap and way more
Was it
R&B
like
than pop.
alternative kind of?
Yeah, it was way back in the day.
Yeah.
And then she did the "Go to Hell" song, and she just blew up. And then it's so cool, like watching somebody that I thought I was like one of the few people. I was like, I know who Lizzo is.
She's a big supporter of the community.
Oh,
and,
big
like,
supporter
which
of
is
the
awesome.
LGBTQ
Yeah.
plus community. Who
Yeah.
else is your go-to artist?
So right now, I'd have to say it's not an artist; it's a group. Blackpink is like one of my favorite.
Which
Like Blackpink
Oh, okay.
is one of my favorite groups
Pretty-
to listen to.
Firefighters
I actually
even
kind of
chiming
taught
in.
myself like a little Korean,
Okay.
Oh, nice.
and so I rapped in Korean a little bit on my last album. Not like a lot. I'm still kind of like
That's
learning.
awesome. I love that.
So like I was like, I'm gonna learn how to like say some words in Korean, and I'm gonna rap in Korean a little bit. So like Blackpink would be like my like favorite like group, but I would have to say my other artist that I'm listening to right now would have to be so many. Do you guys know who Doechii is? Doechii?
I don't know.
You don't know who Doechii is?
No.
Go look her up.
Okay.
Okay.
Go look
What
her
kind
up.
of music? What
She
style?
does like pop and like hip hop.
Okay.
She's a very energetic performer.
Oh, nice. Love
She
that
reminds me of like those old school performers like Dorothy Dandridge, how she's just very like elegant and like
yeah.
beautiful. Like go check her out. Doechii's pretty
Okay.
dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And your go-to song right now? What are you listening to on repeat? Everybody has a song they're like repeating.
So
right
can I be a little self-serving right now?
now. Your own song. Is it your own song? Good way to promote. What is it? Give the audience.
Make It Go Boom.
Make it go
Boom
boom.
is my
Just like
newest
your-
single. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense,
Perfect.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Makes sense, doesn't
It
it?
ties
Now
back
it's
to the
all
outfit.
Yep.
connecting
Yep.
right here,
Yep.
you guys. Make it go boom.
Yes.
And how do people find you, Teddy? If they want to follow you, where can they get your music?
So-
Instagram. Give them all the good deeds.
On Spotify, Teddy Martin, Apple Music, any kind of streaming service. Instagram, Mr. Teddy Martin.
Okay.
Teddy Martin.
MR, not MISTR, because I've realized a lot of people don't like to type that long.
Yeah.
So I was just like MR and then Teddy Martin.
There you
People are
go.
lazy.
Yes, and they don't like people don't like to read either.
No, they don't.
People hate reading now.
Oh, I know. If you would just do a simple Google search, so many of the world problems would be not happening right now.
Yes.
It's so true. It was good chatting.
Yes.
Yes,
for
thank you
coming
guys. You
on.
guys are a vibe.
Yeah.
You guys are a whole vibe.
I
So
hope
now that I know that like I've like been on your I'm gonna go and start listening to
Yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
when you ever come to visit San Diego,
San Diego,
listen to
come
our
on the show in the
podcast.
studio.
Yeah, we
Yes,
always
I would
tell people
love
where to
to.
go.
That would be
Yeah.
fun. We
I
can
would
play your
love to.
music, dive deep into it.
Yes.
Be like,
talk a
what
lot
is
more crap
this-
too.
Is this lyric really about?
And I'll be
You know what I mean?
straightforward with you
Which
too.
X is this about?
Yeah, which X are you
I'm
writing?
like,
this
sorry,
about?
Jimmy.
Is this
Sorry.
about the Uber driver? But it was good
Yes.
chatting with you.
Yes,
But
you
hit us
too.
up when you come back to
Yes,
San
Yes,
Diego.
I will.
Thank
I
you.
will. I will. I will. I will. Thank you.
You guys, we will be right back with more Out at the Fair. It's been a fun day.
Second, do you hear that? It's the sound of your wallet crying out for help because you need a great hosting service for your podcast, but don't want to break the bank. Well, have no fear, because Blueberry Pro Hosting is here to save the day. And not only that, they are offering our listeners a special deal. That's right, with the code WIH, you can get your $100 Blueberry Pro Hosting setup fee waived. And don't worry, their support team is always available to answer any onboarding questions you might have. So, what are you waiting for? Get your podcast hosted with Blueberry Pro Hosting today and start sharing your stories with the world. And remember, use the code WIH at checkout to get your setup fee for free. Thanks. for
Are you ready to see it? Hey, everybody, we are back. We're still Out at the Fair. And we are here with San Diego. Wait,
SD Cheer Extreme.
SD Cheer.
Cheer San Diego Extreme.
There you-
Cheer San Diego Extreme.
Yes.
All right,
There's
tell
a
us,
lot
tell
of
us
you.
about Tell us about Cheer San Diego Extreme. What are you guys? What do you do?
So we are an adult charitable chilling organization. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we come out to community events just to put on performances, raise awareness, spirit, and funds for those living with life-threatening illnesses.
Oh, wow. I didn't
that's
even know you
amazing.
guys existed till
Yeah,
today.
we've been
Yeah, we
around
know.
for, this is our 8th season.
Eight
Oh,
seasons. Where do you
wow.
guys perform? Where do you guys compete and all that?
We just do a lot of community events. So
Nice.
last weekend we were at Pride by the beach in Oceanside.
Oh, okay.
And then we did a smaller performance for the AFSP Hike for Hope event. And then we'll be in San Francisco Pride at the end of this month. And
Oh.
of course, our Pride in July.
Our
and
Pride. It's going
we
to be
perform
crazy.
all year up until mid-December. So we start in January and we go through December.
Wow. And how big is the team? There's a lot of you.
We have 24 members this year.
How
We have
many?
24.
I know.
lot.
That's a lot. Is there a lot of drama? There probably is.
No.
Lies, all of you know.
I mean, the normal, like, stick your stunt,
Yeah.
don't give up. But, like, we're really a family. We all, like, stick your
don't
stunt
give up.
together. So.
If I had $1 for every time I said that to someone,
You know what? I'm
stick
getting
your
that.
stunt, Tony.
Don't give it. I'm going to get stick your stunt.
Stick your stunt.
Is it stick your stunt?
Stink your stunt.
Stink?
Stick your
Oh.
stunt.
Stick it.
Stick.
it.
I like stink
Like,
your stunt
stink
better.
your
That's
stunt.
better.
So do you need cheer experience to join the squad, or how does that work?
You do not. So as long as you're over 18, you can come out to our tryouts, which are in January. We have taught people how to cheer, and then we have a lot of people that used to cheer in their younger age and come out of the cheer retirement and join us and
Oh, really?
enjoying
What
the
up, cheer
fun.
retirement. I love
You're
that.
retired.
What's the rehearsal schedule like? What do
Yeah.
you guys? Are you year round or?
Yeah, so January to December, we do take some days off throughout the year for like holidays and just to give our body breaks. But we practice every Tuesday night for 2 hours. Sometimes Thursdays, like if we're getting ready for an event like today, we'll add a Thursday practice for a couple more reps.
If Tony and I each do a high kick and stick
I
it,
will break my back.
tell us who's better.
Okay.
Wait. What are we doing?
She's gonna do a high kick.
Wait, you got to be on camera.
Okay, I'm gonna listen.
You go first. That is as
You
good as
suck
it's
this
gonna
time! You
get.
suck this time!
Okay, I
suck
have a
that
couple
stunt.
questions. We're gonna play a little game.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Out of the group, who is the one most likely to get blackout drunk and make the worst mistake? Look at you! Wait, what is your name?
Katie.
Katie was
Katie.
like ready to point somebody out right away. Blackout drunk, make a really bad decision, and not remember it the next day. Who's the guilty? It's all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Oh my God.
That's me in our
Is
group.
that you? Is
yeah.
it?
In our group, yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
me.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
mom's
we
night
do
out.
like to
Night out.
alternate. Like, we're like, okay, it's your turn to black out, and then, like, we'll take care of you.
Yeah.
But she usually wins all the time.
Different types of members that get blackout. Like some will just walk home if it's even 5 miles away when they black out. Some will fall asleep.
Okay, who's the one that gets very friendly when they get a couple cocktails in them?
I think it's Jillian.
Jillian! You're getting called out, Jillian! Oh, so she's the friendly member. Oh, yes, we love Gossip Girl. Oh, that's the best. Who is the mom of the group? Who's like the one watching out for everybody, making sure that
Nicole.
One of our captains.
Nicole.
Yeah. There you go.
Are
And
any of
who's
you? Oh.
who's the dad? Doesn't even have to be a female. Who's the like partner in crime with the mom?
Who's the daddy?
Nice.
Cool.
Huh?
Dad. Oh, Daddy.
God, daddy, you're
Daddy.
the dad. You do give off daddy energy. Okay.
I love it.
Who is most likely to? Who is the one you're gonna call to bury a body, and they will not
Oh,
ask a
yeah.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah, ride or die. Who's the ride or die? Or the one you call up and go, they don't even know. You're like, I need help. They're like, I'm
The
right
cleaner.
there.
They're the cleaner.
They don't
the
need
fixer.
any explanation. It could be with David.
Alright.
Nice.
That's cute. It seems like you guys are really
Interesting
good
group.
friends.
Yeah, we're together. If not at practice, at events, we're like always out in Hillcrest. brunching. If you see us out of uniform, you can always buy us a drink.
Oh,
Out of uniform.
Out of
Now I know what you want to
Always
come on.
buy us a drink.
And
Yeah.
where's your
Love it.
go-to in
Yeah.
Hillcrest? Your go-to places? Gossip.
Gossip.
Which one? Baja Betty's.
Betty's,
Yes.
yeah.
Their margaritas are
Flicks.
no joke. Their margaritas are no joke. And which
No.
one?
Netflix.
Oh, Flicks
Flicks,
is
yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
I'm a little too old for Flicks, apparently.
Yeah.
But,
Very cool.
Huh? A men's bar. Yes.
Oh, okay. So do
Mo?
you guys
Nobody
have
said Mo's.
No one said Mo's.
Exactly. No, I'm kidding. I'm
brunch.
kidding. No, I love Mo's.
It's a different
I
it's a
love
different
Mo's.
generation.
Huh?
How do people find you? Do you have an
Yes.
Instagram? Do you?
Yes,
Give 'em
hello,
all the
I'm social
deets.
media director.
Love
sorry.
it. Oh,
shameless
okay.
plug. Cheer SD Extreme on Instagram, Facebook, cheersdextreme.org. All that information. Tag us, like us, follow us. You know.
Can you guys
So,
do a
yeah.
cheer before you go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, the one from their team.
Do it. Yell loud, yell loud. Yeah.
Ready? Show us your pride.
P-R-I-D-E, show us your pride. P-R-I-D-E, show us your pride. P-R-I-D-E, show us your pride.
Proud on this side, down, stand.
Stand,
Proud on this side, down, Diego.
Diego.
Put it all together now.
Stand, Diego. Stand, Diego. Stand, Diego. Show us your pride. Stand, Diego. Stand, Diego. Show us your pride. Stand, Diego.
That was awesome.
I love that.
Thank you. Thank
you guys,
so
go
much.
follow
Yes.
SD Cheer on their Instagram, all of that good stuff. And we will see you guys at Pride here in San Diego. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys so very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Actually, we are sitting here talking to one of the sisters from the Sisters of
Perpetual indulgence.
I know it's very
Tongue twister.
it's tough. It's a beautiful day, overcast, cloudy. Yeah,
Perfect
June
for
gloom.
me.
Yeah,
Right out at the
it's
fair.
perfect. It's usual,
Yeah.
but it's a
With-
beautiful day here in San
With
Diego.
Sister Amanda Reckon with.
Sister
Amanda
Amanda
Reckon with.
Did I say it right?
Okay, just
She wants it
Sister
faster.
Amanda, Sister Amanda, huh?
Did you want it Sister Amanda reckon with?
I don't
There
know.
you go.
Are you good with doing things fast or slow?
Oh.
Do you try and strike for the middle? Go out to the
It
edges?
depends on who I'm trying to strike.
Okay, not a problem.
And
Well,
the time of day.
If you can't get the name, then the Scarlet Harlot will do just fine.
Oh, it's
Oh, I love
Scarlet
that.
Heart. There you go.
I think this
So-
might be cherry red today, but Scarlet
So the
will work.
sisters
love
are
it.
here out at the fair, and how
Out
do
at
you
the
guys
fair.
do out at the fair every year? Or is this your
Yes,
first time?
we have been here. I don't think we've quite been here. So let's see. This is out at the fair's 11th or 12th year.
Yeah.
I think we've been here at least 9. I think it took us a couple years to get on the guest list, but once we got on there, they
You're
haven't
here.
taken us off.
Here.
It's just like being Santa Claus list.
I know.
So they keep allowing us back. So apparently we're not as shocking as what the sisters do to the Dodgers,
Yeah.
but that's another thing.
Oh yeah,
So,
the Dodgers. We covered that.
No, we love being here,
Yeah.
and we share a lot of space generally with the Bears.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
a
I
really
saw
good
you right
organization.
next-
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They like to eat. We like to preach. It's the same thing.
That's a
Yeah.
good combo.
That-
Eat and
I
preach,
love
eat
that.
and preach.
Absolutely. And then we also feed off each other's understandings about the fair. Like
Yeah.
the Bears know how to go hunt for food. Sisters, we always looking for all that, so we go out and shock the people when they're in line. So it's
Yeah.
really fun.
Oh, that is
I found
awesome.
I was on the hunt for fat, grease, lard, and cholesterol this morning.
Yeah,
It was
this is a
very
great place
stressful
for
week.
it.
I was in a traffic break on the freeway and trying
Oh,
to get
you
here
were?
on time.
Oh,
It was really
no.
weird. And I
Yeah.
got here and I'm like, okay, we're at the fair. I need the 4 Southern food groups, fat,
Yeah.
grease, lard, and cholesterol. I go right outside. There is one cart that has all of it. They
All
have
of it.
The deep fried pies.
Yep.
Fat, grease, lard, cholesterol.
All of
right
it.
there. It
Fried
was
together.
just
pies.
fantastic. you
Deep
get everything
fried
you want here.
pies.
Yeah.
I love that.
What kind of pie
What's
did
your
you get?
favorite? I got cherry and I got chocolate because
Oh,
they were out of
cherry.
pecan.
Pecan is.
Pecan?
I
I'm
just
love
gonna
pecan.
lodge my
Wait, so
complaint that they're out of
deep-
pecan.
They
Yeah.
deep
Oh,
fried
no.
the
Already?
pie? Like full on deep
The
fried?
full-
And then it's a
I don't
little-
know. These two, I know there are places that do the deep
Yeah.
fries. These were just regular
Great pies.
baked. Yeah,
I like
but they
that.
do
I
the
love
deep
a
fry
good
over there.
pie.
They also have these waffle cone pie things, and I mean, again,
Fair
fat,
food's
grease,
wild.
cholesterol, and
Right.
beautiful glittering lights. You know, they don't have the plastic things like the Japanese.
Yeah.
But the smells are really good.
Yeah.
So it's the smell that hits you,
Oh, it
and then it
does.
triggers.
Intoxicating.
It triggers
It
that
triggers, it
in your
gets
brain.
yeah, you want it. You want it. Yeah.
It's like poppers and lube.
And so
Gets your
you're a
brain
single
going.
mom, so you know the kids are
I'm a single
prompting
mom.
you for the candy,
Yeah.
right?
For the candy
cotton
all
candy,
the time.
the Lucky
I
Charms.
hate
Yep.
cotton candy.
You do?
It's just sugar.
It
It's
is
just
pure
fun.
It's
fun
kind of
sugar.
pointless,
Sugar,
isn't
it's
it?
pointless.
It's airborne
Just
sugar,
eat the
and like,
fucking
why don't you
sugar.
just take a sugar packet from the? I
Just
mean,
take
it's so
it-
much cheaper. You
and
can go
it's
to any
cheaper.
restaurant and get.
I was
the
like, if
little
you want me to
Spreckles
get
packet,
you
right? and then they want us
yes.
to get this, and then what color choice? It's either the pink or the blue, and if they
Blue.
don't want the pink, they don't want the blue. I mean, these
yeah.
choices. If kids can't make the choice, can you imagine these adults sort
No.
of struggling about the choices in Florida? I mean, my gosh, if you want to
So
draw
for-
a line about choice.
Yeah.
So for people who aren't familiar with your guys'
Yeah, please.
organization, how did the Sisters start? What is the whole mission statement behind the Sisters and the work that you all do?
Okay, so we started. Originally, we started in San Francisco. Yes, I should take a sip of the chai
Cheers.
latte.
Cheers.
here.
Yeah.
We started in San Francisco. The original order started in San Francisco in 1979.
Wow.
Why did they start? They were bored.
Okay.
So
a lot of things start
Same.
that way.
maybe I don't know.
Same.
Did you start the
Same.
podcast because
Yeah.
you were bored
Same.
of talking? You're
Same.
like you were bored drinking over I don't know wine or whiskey. Choose your liquor.
Vodka.
Vodka. Clear is fine. One day you'll graduate to colored liquor.
Yeah.
To get colored liquor, yeah.
Once you go colored, you don't go back. So, you were probably sitting there, you were bored, you're like, let's do a
Yeah.
podcast. You probably accidentally knocked over, at that time, it was probably the tape recorder, I understand.
Ouch!
No,
Ouch!
I was the same thing.
Okay.
I had the 8-track, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So, and then you're like, we're bored. So the sisters were bored. At that time, they didn't have a tape recorder. They actually had old nuns' habits from The Sound of Music. That's another story.
Hilarious.
But they were real, actual habits because
Yeah.
there was a production. There was supposed to be a community college production of The Sound of Music in all places.
That is-
Cedar Rapids, Iowa, of all places. I know, right? But someone borrowed it, and they never ended up getting used. Fast forward 3 years later, 79, Easter in San Francisco, but not really Easter. The night before Easter, like Easter Eve, Holy
Yeah,
Saturday,
Yeah.
Holy Saturday,
It's Holy Saturday,
right?
yeah.
Which, depending on which way you want to tilt religion, could be any
Yeah.
number of things. So she laughs. Why can't you capture laughter, like a little silent smirk on a podcast?
I know.
Because I grew
We
up
need to-
Catholic.
I
and
grew up
you
Jehovah's
You know
Witness.
exactly what I'm
Witness,
talking
so
about.
I
You
know
know
what you're
how many
talking
giggles
about.
you get-
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
And I grew up
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness, so even worse.
So and I'm
Oh,
laughing because I'm like,
Lord.
he doesn't know.
Oh.
I'm laughing at
Yeah.
him too.
I'm
But he's used to going door to door. That's
Yeah.
Yep.
Mary and Joseph
Boy.
went door to door also.
Talk about
They sure
trauma.
did.
They sure did.
That
That's
Airbnb.
another
Yeah.
the Airbnb called Israel. Anyway, and they've been Airbnb for what, 4,000 years?
4,000 yeah.
1,000 years, yeah.
No, the world is
Uh,
only 100 years old. It started with
100.
Trump.
No. Well,
And-
he says it's 1 million because people have been getting away with sexual assault for 1 million
million?
years. So
Oh,
if that's
okay.
true,
Then
you
you're
have
right.
to put, I mean, like,
Dinosaurs.
clearly,
Dinosaurs were assaulting people
People,
before.
You
yeah.
need to listen to Mango Mussolini.
Yeah.
Anyway, so where were we? Sisters, 79. So they were bored. It was an unusually hot day in San Francisco on Holy Saturday, and he pulled out a box of habits, called 4 friends, and they put these habits on. But the thing is, so this is the late 70s, right?
Yeah.
And if you put yourself in the political situation in the late 70s, right? We're coming off the vestiges of the Vietnam War. It is still huge in everybody's heads. Very similar. We've got the vestiges of Afghanistan and a lot of things going on in
Yeah.
our heads. There was a lot of racial discrimination that was going on from an influx of refugees coming in from East Asia as well as Western Asia. There was a lot of new refugees coming from Eastern Europe. A huge influx of issues that were happening with the country. There was the gas crisis under the Carter administration,
yep.
the oil crisis. All these things were happening. And so the world was just like on the edge of a pin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people were anxious. There was a lot of things going on. Well, the LGBT movement was equally as anxious. And this is out at the fair. But in our community, and I'm not sure which community you guys land in, but in our community, in LGBTQ plus community, the activism really got a lot of its legs under what many people understand was Stonewall, which was a riot, a rebellion, an uprising. There's a lot of ways to look at it. And all these pride celebrations that you see now are like pride celebrations with a parade and commercialism and all that. And there's room for that. But the fundamental understanding is that Pride was a protest. It was a rebellion and an uprising because people were just over this
the
government overreach.
discrimination and
No, it was even okay. It's not even discrimination because okay, you're a woman. You get discrimination every day, right? You just deal with it. We're in America. We deal with land of the free. There's tolerance there, right? So it's not just discrimination. You got to go deep in the levels. This is government overreach.
Yeah.
This is cops deciding that they're going to take their own law into the hands, and their law is their cultural morality compass, right? They're saying that those people are doing something we don't agree with. We're the law. We're the enforcement. We set the moral code. Therefore, we're going to eject those individuals who are not in the moral code. I mean, look at the Hunger Games. It's all there, right? All that classism. All right, so did I just get a reaction out of him? That's amazing. He wasn't even moving. I thought he was a mannequin for like so long.
He's working the board.
So it's not just that. It's not just the protest about government overreach. It's also about the whole idea of gender conformity, right? Because at the time, they would bust into these bars and say, you need to be wearing the articles of clothing that correspond to your genders, to your sex, right? And what is a whole misunderstanding of all that, right? But this is not unique. Like, this had been happening in San Francisco all the time. This was common. They actually set up appointments. Like, these were New York City. These were mafia bars. They were run by the mafia. There were scheduled payoffs, or you would do a drop. In fact, it was a thing where you walked into the bar and you put some coins in to add to the payoff. And the payoffs were scheduled, right? They came by on a regular basis. So the regular rate happened on a Tuesday night. It happened. Everybody did the right thing. The light went off. The lights went on. The red light in the corner went off. The lights actually went on. People took their places. Regular thing happened. And then on Friday night, an inspector decided he just wanted to do more. But he was specific. He wanted to get rid of those queers. And those weird people, those freaks down at the bar. This was specific. And this was very oriented toward individuals who were gender nonconforming. That's the base of Stonewall, right? Government overreach, using your power to tell me how I need to be expressive.
Targeting those communities.
And educated people, we all know this is protected under the First Amendment.
It's like starting to happen again. It feels
this
like
is where I'm drawing the
mirror.
line. This is where I'm drawing the line. So that's what's going on. San Francisco in 1979, 12 years after Stonewall. All right. Now, it took a year for Stonewall to happen in 69 for the Gay Liberation Front to start on a Saturday in Chicago and San Francisco, and then on a Sunday in New York and LA. That became the first Pride celebrations that we hearken to now. But then the momentum spread. Like, before Stonewall, there were maybe like a dozen people who were activists and maybe a dozen organizations, right? Stonewall happens. All of a sudden, the next year, there's like dozens of organizations and there's dozens of people getting into it, right? 2 years after Stonewall, 72, 73, there's hundreds and thousands of people in organizations who are actually actively working in the civil rights front, right? And people start understanding that the fight for civil rights starts going across all sorts of intersectionalities, all right? It's not just for LGBT, it's also for Black people. It's also for Latinos, it's also for Asian Americans, it's also for women, it's also for the disabled, it's also for individuals, it's for everybody, because this is the country. And we have to start expressing and understanding that the First Amendment is there for a reason. It's not to be warped, it's not to be used, it's there to be as a protection, right? So 79, they took their First Amendment right, which at the time was being exercised all over America. But they did it in a uniquely spiritual way by challenging what the idea was of a garment, right? So at the time, if you're in the gay community, because at that time we didn't have the words, there's lesbians, there were gays, right? And queer was used as an epithet.
Exactly.
It was used as an insult, right?
100%.
It was used in a certain way.
It was an insult.
So there were the gays, there were the lesbians. The gays were all supposed to be, it was the clone time in 1979. Okay, it was the tight jeans, the white t-shirt rolled up, the hair, the sunglasses, the mustache, all this stuff. There was a clone period going on, right? And they're like, wait, men don't necessarily have to look like that. There's all kinds of men, right? So these four individuals happened to be moved by what we now identify as perpetual indulgence, and then it took them a few days later to kind of realize what they did. But they were moved with the spirit of going down in some sort of challenging way that was nonconformist to anything, but that took an idea of just a glimpse of something that took away all the guilt, all the structure, and the idea of it. Take that away and just bring a little bit of joy in there. And so your main question is like, what do we do as sisters? I took a very long way around it. I took the scenic route.
I love it.
But we spread joy and we absolve guilt. The formal words that you'll see on all our literature is the promulgation of universal joy and the expiation of stigmatic guilt. But what we want to do is we want to be out there. using our expression, our self-expression in the fullness of what we're allowed to do in our environment, and hope that people see us, see the vision of that expression.
Yeah.
They can put away all the things that they may feel chained up on and feel a little bit of joy in their lives, and we'll help inject a little bit of fun in there.
I feel that is
for
so
it.
important, especially somebody who comes from a religious background going up gay.
So it's
you said the word guilt. The amount of guilt
the stigma
behind it, and the fact that that's the goal is
and
kind
it
of
comes
to
from
take that
every
away.
part of our community, from school, from our
yeah.
friends,
All of it.
from our religion, from our family unit, from our internal family unit, to our little outside
It's so
circle family
true.
units, to our remote family units, and everybody. We're all of a certain generation. We all grew up with like a gay uncle or a lesbian aunt,
Yeah.
right? And nobody talked about it. It's like,
Nobody
you don't
talked
talk about
about it.
Bruno.
Yes.
But no, you don't talk about it. It was all
True.
swept under the rug,
Yes.
right? Okay, so let me draw a straight line to how that really affects the culture and
You're
how
gonna
people
draw a
want to
straight
think.
line for us?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Because this is true. Because you know what? People think that they don't understand.
Yeah.
That they don't understand what the LGBTQIA experience is about.
Yeah.
But I'm going to draw a straight line from that. Okay, so what about E. Jean Carroll testifying that when someone gets assaulted, I come from a generation where I did not speak.
Yep.
Did the three of us just agree that we came from a generation where we did not speak about
Yeah.
the elephant in the room,
You
about the
don't.
queer
You
pink
don't.
triangle elephant in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we are in a generation where it
Where
is
we
talked
do-
about. Do you
yeah.
see how? So yes, I can draw a straight line to all that generational guilt and understanding, and how it's taken so long for us to free in the speed,
true.
and we're still not there yet because
No,
you
we're
just
not.
said, "Oh my God, it's like we're going through this again."
It
Yeah.
is.
And they're
That's what's
using
scary.
legislation.
Yes,
Like
you're
at this
absolutely
point, I
right.
think Wanda Sykes said it. They're not going to stop until like. They want you to believe that there's drag queens killing children
Yes.
with copies of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Which is
That's what they want you to
insane.
believe.
Which is
But in
absolutely
reality,
insane.
like that's the wrong thing you're looking at, people. Come on, okay?
Yeah.
Well, I think like it was Shea Coulee that said like when you do these when you talk about like trans people or people in the bathroom or whatever, like when you actually take a look at who's assaulting people, it's priests, it's
Yeah.
straight white
Yes.
men.
Okay.
If-
All right. Let's
if
just
you
look at the numbers. Okay.
Yep,
Let's
if
just
you-
look at the
yes.
numbers. So first of all, I just want to equalize everything and remind you that I don't see housing codes where they require a male porta potty or
Yeah.
a female porta potty. That's definitely not in OSHA, and I know OSHA is pretty equal about fucking everything.
Everything.
Can I say that word on a podcast?
Yes,
You
Oh
can
my
bleep it
God,
out.
say it. Say it
So
if you want.
I know I do regulations, so I know OSHA doesn't fuck around. So
Same, yeah.
if there was real scientific basis behind a definition of sexist and using the bathroom, I would definitely expect OSHA to
do
have
that, yeah.
have
Exactly.
opined on this or have written a standard,
Yes,
right?
100%.
So if OSHA's not doing it, okay, fine, I can agree with that. But at the same time, like everybody grew up and is sharing a bathroom. Didn't you
Yeah.
share a bathroom? I shared a bathroom. You shared a bathroom.
These people, you've
We
got-
all know how mom bitched about the prom
Yeah.
dress and tried to hike up.
I've got
We
four
all know
brothers
dad
and
got complained
sisters.
about not lifting
Like,
up the seat. Like, come
If
on
you,
now.
If you did not grow up seeing your dad's or
Right?
your brother's balls or your sister's vagina, like that's how
Okay.
we are raised.
So now that I've
communally.
equalized the whole conversation,
Yes.
you bring up. Let's talk about statistics, okay?
Yeah.
So they're talking about this. The latest thing is transgender athletes.
The right side, they love to throw out the statistics.
Oh,
statistics.
yeah, and
They love
I love to throw out statistics too. So here's the thing: I was born right, but now I found the light. Let's just say that. So the reason why I can do this is because I know what the arguments are. And here's the thing:
Yeah.
so they want to say, there's this whole argument about transgender athletes, and they can't let Nikki Haley, who is in the race for president of these United States of 360 million people. She stood there bravely on CNN. I can't believe how they let this one go by, and drew a straight line about girls growing up being very scared to go into bathrooms and encountering biological boys, that they're committing suicide. Like, she's trying to draw a straight line there. So
Yeah.
I can blow up all that, but let's just look at the statistics, okay? She's laughing. She can't even handle it. The podcast can't catch it. She can't catch. The podcast is not catching the silent chortle. I would like to
know.
note there's a silent chortle.
Oh no, they're
going on
seeing
here.
it on video.
So here's the thing. So she says that, all right, well, here's the real number. So I just said that Nikki Haley wants to be president of 360 million Americans, right? 355, give or take. All right. Going by statistics, our best estimates, there might be 2 million transgender individuals in the United States. 2 million.
2 million.
Two.
Yes.
And of that, there might be, because there are disclosure laws, there's privacy laws.
Yep.
There might be 100 transgender individuals who are competing in school level sports. 100.
Out
You
of the
distill
whole
it down.
population
Are you
of
telling
this
me that that's the
country.
problem? Why there's teen suicide going on?
No, it's
Don't
Why
even get me
hasn't
started.
CNN put up the chyron for that on
Yeah.
Nikki Haley's statement?
Yeah.
But they're not going to.
No.
This is the thing. So I just drew this whole straight line from E. Jean
Yeah.
Carroll to Stonewall to what we're doing now to us growing up to things that are going on right now. And what we're doing is we're trying to encourage people to stand up and speak out. Call out the bullshit when you hear it.
Yeah.
If people say, well, I have a problem with transgender athletes in sports, really, how many people are you worried about?
Exactly.
Drill it down. How many people are you really
Yeah,
worried
and
about?
how is this affecting your life?
How is it affecting your life, right?
Yeah.
The book bans, the drag queen story hours,
The
all
family,
this stuff. Like,
yeah, the
okay,
family's a
so
family.
now you notice there's all this noise about the book bans, and I can't tell you how many how many books are being banned right now.
This is wild to me.
Finally, they got the Bible banned out of one
Yes.
county and
One
jurisdiction
county.
in Utah for the exact same reasons.
Yeah.
And guess what? Nobody's saying anything about it.
But I
It's
just
not making
cannot.
the news.
This is
It's not
But
making
that's
the,
just
yeah.
it, because we're letting the big shit go by.
Mhm.
And this is the thing. I understand tolerance, I understand love, but when people are flat out calling lies, this is how we've come to this alternative facts culture and this
Yes.
whole weird, gaslighting and
Where
woke.
if you
know,
say it,
call
it's
out.
true.
You don't want me to be woke? Well, then wake the fuck up. Because if you're not woke, then you're sleeping.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
using the wrong words. If you're going after people who are trans, people of color, that's who you're going after in all of this, because you cannot handle the fact that you're getting booted out of your idea of a white Christian nationalist society, which, I'm sorry, Jesus and the whole Christian nation was not built that the nation of God was supposed to be under one man. The nation of God is about the love of people taking care of each
Yeah.
other and not under the rulership of the dominion of a human.
So
Now,
that's-
what did I just say?
Dominion of a human.
So the thing that I love about the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence is that, like, from like growing up Catholic, like my whole life, even my dad, a straight white man, when he saw a nun, would cross the road.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
so afraid. Like it was mean, and like the whole concept of like nuns and religion is so mean. But you are taking that and you're turning it into joy.
And the interesting thing, so
very true.
that's the alleged. So the LA Dodgers, and now the LA Dodgers are a great ball club. They're at the top of the state. I have to admit that, okay, I can't say nothing about the Padres. We've spent a fortune building up an amazing ball club,
team,
and we are
but
sitting at the bottom of
I
the standings.
know.
We can't
Yeah,
get a
I
win.
know.
Like, we just got one, but seriously, please. I love my Padres, but let's get off it. But let me talk about the Dodgers.
I'm an Angels fan.
Because
So-
that was a hot topic
I love the
in
Angels.
pop culture. It was everywhere. We covered it on the,
Yes.
on the
Yeah,
show.
Okay.
So to get the opinion from one of that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Pastors.
So all the Dodgers were doing was giving a hockey puck to the LA Sisters,
Yeah.
or an award, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically an acknowledgement of all the work they've done, which they've done a tremendous amount of community work since 1996,
A
97,
lot
somewhere
of
around there,
community
right?
work. And that's
Tons of
not
money,
to,
right?
and a lot of it was for AIDS research and all.
A
we
lot
didn't
of
even
it.
cover
Good.
that.
Right
was
back
happening.
into LA
Yes.
County. Like, this is not going in other
In
places,
the
right?
community, yes.
All right, so get this. And so do you understand how the Dodgers reacted? So Senator Marco Rubio
Oh, yeah.
from Florida. Okay,
Not
unless
even
you're
California.
going to Maine, Bangor, Maine, you can't get much further away from San
Right?
Diego, from LA,
Florida.
than Florida. And this guy who comes from so Florida, I think, what is it, Miami? Basically, you can any day of the street you can walk down Miami and hear the accent of every failed nation in Latin America, because Miami is the port of the world. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's Marco Rubio with an opinion about something in California, saying that there's a group that he doesn't know is anti-Catholic and mocking nuns. Okay, so there's that. And then a guy from the Catholic League, which is not even endorsed by the church. It's a lobbyist group.
It's a lobbyist
Lobbyist
group
group
for sure,
decides to opine on the same thing.
Yeah.
Who does not even live in LA, does not live in the state of California, no jurisdiction. And so the Dodgers, an amazing ball club, decided to capitulate off of those two complaints. Two complaints, right? So then you covered all the other
They had
nonsense.
no
that
idea
happened,
about
right?
your organization. They
Had
had
no
no
idea.
idea about what
and
the sisters
the fact
do.
that
here's the
nobody
thing.
did research.
No one did
Needed to
research.
Nobody
research.
has to
Nowhere,
anymore.
none of our
No.
orders, we actually, if you look, we service.
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of people think that we're a fundraising organization. We're not a fundraising organization. We have no reason to take money from people.
Mhm.
People happen to give us money
Yeah.
and ask us to do good work with it. And so we needed to develop to become charitable organizations, 501c3s,
Yes.
under federal law. Every one of our chapters are all recognized
all-
by as charitable,
Yep.
nonprofit 501c3 corporations
Yeah.
in their state and their jurisdictions. We're all recognized as charities all across the world. But because people give us money and we don't use it for anything except to put it back in the community. So we have to do that legitimately, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, we just spread joy and absolve guilt.
Yeah.
We didn't start out like a fundraising organization. Nothing. We just came into this. That's essentially, that's pretty much fucking charity.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you can, like, it's not money laundering. It's the
No.
best kind of money laundering. You're taking great money and making that dollar count into the community and putting it forward, right?
Where a lot of the people who are complaining and the ones who are having a problem with it, they're not doing that. The
They're not doing
organizations
that,
exactly it.
they're working for are not doing that.
So we have gone to hospitals, we've gone to fairs. So an anecdote from our house in San Diego. Several years ago, we used to go to the Earth Day Fair at Balboa Park, and they have a Children's Day parade, right? Well, that Children's Day parade, at one point there started to be a lot of what I'll just call fundies, fundamental organizations that were essentially pro-life groups that were up there to put their message about pro-life. I appreciate everyone's freedom of speech and independence and ability to mass and say something. However, displaying images of all that in front of little children who are there for a parade on Earth Day,
Horrifying.
absolutely not appropriate, not at all appropriate or considerate. So we stood in front, we raised our veils so that the kids couldn't see those things, right?
Yeah.
We were invited back year after year after year to continue to shield the kids from it. It was very similar to Angels in America, if you see that, that whole thing, right?
Exactly.
We did the exact same thing, right? We did that unasked. That was not, like, that was just something that we automatically did, right? That's something that a group of nuns would probably do too, of any faith.
A group of nuns would not. A group of nuns
I don't know,
would not do
but
that.
they would definitely do something about saying that this is not appropriate for children.
My idea of what a nun would do is yes.
But the
that.
the thing that, like, with the sisters that I've always known, especially being part of the community since a very young age, I think every time I see one of the sisters out, and growing up religious that I did, it changed my viewpoint of, okay, religion doesn't have to be this,
mean
or
and
spirituality
scary, like,
doesn't.
And that's interesting you bring up
Yeah.
both of the words. So there's religion, which
then there's
by its
spirituality.
definition, there's organized religion.
Oh, which is the
there's so much
worst. I've
structure
always
and
said it.
everything.
I'm so against organized
But then
religion.
there's spirituality.
Which is
And so
completely
here's the
different.
spirituality. And so I can understand spirituality from, like, my grandmother's point of view, where she prayed the rosary every day
Mm-hmm.
after her husband died, because that's just how she grew up. And that was so in her mind, and I learned this, like, in her head, this is the true blessing of my grandmother saying the rosary.
Yeah.
Because she felt if she said the words dutifully and with piety and glory in her heart, it was offering a rose to Mary, the Queen of Heaven. And at the end of the day, it was this beautiful bouquet of roses, just in honor to the Mother of the world, right?
It's the ritual.
It's the ritual,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that is faith. That is spirituality, because it'll get you through, right?
Yes.
We do the same thing. We just go really deep into it, and we take away everything that's all about it's just this plucky garment.
Yeah.
We decide we're totally expressive in our garments, but we want to go out and we want to tap into what brings you a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
And we tap into all that. That's why you guys have been laughing through this entire podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
No,
I'm
it's so
feeding off
true.
what you guys are putting out.
Yeah.
Because
it's
that's
so,
what
so
we
true.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
And that's
we do.
always been my experience with the sisters in San Diego and other cities. It's just, it's never been a negative thing. It's always pure joy. And the fact, like what happened with the Dodgers and the spotlight that has been shined on the sisters, and oh my God, the worst is Twitter. Twitter is a nightmare.
Twitter is a
Twitter,
cesspool.
yeah, it's
amount-
fast going down.
The
It's
amount
fast
of
lost. It's-
ignorance in the
Yeah.
country, and the amount of people that just listen to somebody else
just
say anything,
amplification
and they
of-
take that
Yeah.
word, and they will die on that cross because of what somebody else said, instead of just doing a simple Google search.
Research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's insane. It is
Yeah.
insane. And to me, it feels like within the last few years, we've just keep going backwards. We're going backwards.
We're
And
not
it's-
going backwards.
it
What it
feels
is
crazy.
people are the target is shifting. So
Yeah.
if they're not winning in one thing, they're going to go after something else. So if
You're-
you think back, like a couple years ago, it was drag queen story hours. There's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of things going on. So they finally got cities to start banning drag queen story hours in public facilities.
But even
right?
before that, it was
Before that, it
Roe
was Trent-
versus
it was
Wade, too.
Trent- well, now the Dobbs decision, okay.
There was, I feel
Okay,
like that kind
no,
of.
yeah, right. Like women's reproductive rights. So
And not just cis women. It was you identify
So
as it's just,
we were talking about the sides of the same coin, but now we're on like a Rubik's cube or like a Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
dive.
Because
Yes.
there's a lot of things to unpack there. Because reproductive rights reproductive rights has always been a basic struggle in all of human existence. There's always been this mystery about how to control the mystery of reproductive rights in women, right? And there's this struggle, right? And it's part of it is that where it comes from this whole patriarchal society, which, you know, socially, anthropologically, we can trace back to certain roots. But here's the thing, like, you have to get out of that. You have to pull completely out of that and realize, like, okay, so the Dobbs decision, that is a result of an overall change in the morality and ideological direction of a group of 9 individuals, right? When you take seats away and you put seats back in, you slightly change things, right?
Yeah.
We set ourselves up for that. There's a lot of ways where the American public, we set ourselves up for that, right?
100%.
So the American public in 2016 decided, okay, we're going to sit here, and even though all the good things are good on paper here and all the things are horrible on paper here, we just absolutely cannot sit here, and we're not going to put another Clinton in the White House. Or we've just dealt with 36 out of 40 years with a Bush or a Clinton in the White House. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's an argument, but that, you know, we look back on it, there was just an issue, right? So we ruined our progress. The progressive, the liberal community, we had a party under the Obama administration. We, on election night, we all thought we were swooning with joy to see that something was going to happen. When it didn't happen, we're like, oh, fuck. And here's the thing. We thought that everything was in place. We thought that we had put our ducks in a row. And indeed, we had our ducks in a pretty decent row. It just, we didn't realize that there were stairs and bends involved.
I love
We
that.
didn't realize that there were breaks in our ducks. And they went for those breaks. Where are those breaks? Those breaks are in the same places that we started taking over, like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when our generation started getting active. Now these individuals are getting back active into the school boards, into the local county commissions.
That's exactly what it is.
All the different local leadership positions that we all populated for a long time and made it really difficult, but put us so much progressive.
They took our strategy.
Absolutely.
And they
took our
co-opted
strategy.
it.
Right. And the unfortunate thing is that we don't do the same thing. As a progressive or liberal side, we don't do the same thing. We don't do the whole eye for an eye, which was just on Twitter last night. Of all things, it was whatever, an eye for an eye. Oh, and they're complaining about government overreach. Oh, no, sir. This was a grand jury of citizens of Florida. Like your own state, your neighbors. You might even have them on your Christmas card list. So, but here's the thing: like we need to really bring it back down and direct everybody. Call out the lies. Make sure nobody gets. They can't get away with saying the wrong thing, right?
And even if you're a small voice, it's still a voice.
It's
and that's
still
what we
a voice.
It's like still a voice.
And even those small voices, but here's the thing. So,
and it's definitely for people in our community, it's not a time to be complacent. And
it's not complacent. And this is where things like your podcast, because someone out there is listening to this and might get galvanized, and that is going to be their action, right? That is how the very small and tiniest voices can say something. I remember, so we started the order here in San Diego in 2005, and then we became Full House in 2006. And then I ended up going to Long Beach Pride in 2005 with a couple of sisters from San Diego. A photo was taken at Long Beach Pride. And that was in 2005. In 2019, I was in the Pride Parade here in San Diego, and someone came running up to me with that photo that they took in 2005. And apparently that photo was one he took. He just started out photographing, and that was a photo that sort of launched him into being able to be out there. And they just said that photo that they took really made their day and made several years of their life.
That's amazing.
But that's just it. One moment in a place like this where someone can see someone dressed a certain way, expressing a certain thing, looking or feeling like them. We start to see our identities, right? We talk about not seeing role models on TV or movies and everything, but a role model in real life at a place like this can make the difference. And that's where the tide can change. So we started out saying, you mentioned, it's like we're back here at square one.
Yeah,
we're going
it
through
feels
this
like
again.
we're going backwards.
You know, history may not repeat, but it certainly rhymes.
Yes.
And here's the thing.
Oh, I love that.
We
It
need to
rhymes.
understand the beat.
Yeah.
We need to understand the structure, and we need to get in there. Don't forget what the people did before us. Don't forget what the people are doing now, and set up our kids to do the things that we're doing in the future. Because I will remind people, I remember the Obama years. They were great times. We got a lot accomplished.
Yeah, we
but
got
you
a
know
lot
what?
done
We
this
now how are
year.
we going to get back there? Like
Yeah.
these last couple years have been really good with Biden. It's been a lot of good work, but we've got to get back to all that we've lost
Yeah.
over the course of these last 6 years, and with a very conservative court.
Very
Unless someone
conservative.
kicks the bucket,
Yeah.
it's going to be a while before we really understand if we can be together as a country or if we're going to be
Yeah.
divided by 9 people who
9.
simply change the compass of the country by changing seats.
Yeah.
That's something we need to think about. That's what people need to understand in their heads when they go to vote everywhere at local board elections, local elections, and when they're in
Big elections,
conversations. We want people to have these conversations like at their kitchen tables, at the kitchen sink. We want to have it on the commute, at the water coolers, you know, hanging with
And
their
with our
homies, having
children.
ramen,
Yeah,
and with your
children.
kids and with your homes.
It's,
Yes.
You're not in a space anymore where you can say like, I want to wait until they're 18.
Yeah,
and,
it's
you know, like
not
they
that
have to
climate
understand. It's just like
anymore,
the audacity of being able to exist doesn't
Mhm.
happen for everyone.
Yeah.
Do not that like the classic example is in one place they have released a book that talks about the civil rights struggle or the history of America, and the part about Rosa Parks just says that she was a citizen bus rider in a seating dispute.
Yeah.
What?
Have taken out all the context that she was a black
Oh, it's so
woman
crazy.
in Jim Crow South.
Mhm.
Took that all out. We cannot let that happen to
can't.
this struggle,
Yeah.
right? And that's what these events are for. That's what
Getting
these
out there.
podcasts are for.
Yeah.
And so your comment on a small voice sometimes is the biggest voice of
voice.
change in the world.
It'll spark that one person.
I'm just if one person is given the safety of knowing that they're allowed to exist and they're allowed
It's life
to
changing.
grow up.
It's life changing.
Life changing. So talking to you as a single mom and all the people who are listening here. So for individuals who are of the cisgendered identity, which is just an identity where, you know, you were born male, you feel male, you're born a girl, you feel a girl, that's fine, not a problem. It's no risk for you to show support
At all.
to us.
Absolutely.
None. Absolutely no risk to you.
Absolutely.
But there is 100% risk for us, okay? Like I right here, I can take all this stuff off, throw it away, burn it, never go back. I can go work at my day job and never do this again if something gets real and we become like Gilead or the Handmaid's Tale, right?
Yeah.
I
The
can totally
Handmaid's
do all
Tale.
that,
Oh
right?
my God, we talked about.
But there are people here today,
Who
here
cannot.
today who are watching, who have walked by.
Yeah.
They can't take all this stuff off.
No.
This is their everyday life.
And those
That's
are the
what we have to
people
think
we
about.
have-
It is their
yeah.
risk that we have to think about. So for everyone listening out there, like it's no risk to you to just say, I support self-expression of any identity and of
Yes.
any different path of life.
Yeah.
That's just you being you.
Yeah.
I am a white woman. This entire world is constructed to make my life easy. Like the entire world is set up for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I am not cognizant of the way that I move in the world and, you know, aware that I need to make space and stand up and like be at least a roadblock,
Right.
is like so fucked because like I'm in a position where like everything is constructed. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a man, but I'm the second best thing, which is a white woman. And so it's like if I can't even stand up and say something in a world that is meant to make me feel protected and safe,
Yeah.
how is anybody
Anybody
else
else.
going to do
Well,
it?
let me help you give you some ammunition to start that.
Okay.
If you're ever in a position where you have to like, you know what? How am I going to start someone to convince someone that like I'm on their side? You can remind everybody that right now it's 2023, and I think women are making 84 cents on the dollar for men.
Yeah.
So the fight's not far away, and you are affected by that.
Yes, and I'm
Okay,
bisexual.
so let's just
and like,
move that needle
Yeah.
over and say everybody's affected. So you are
Yeah.
living proof of inequality right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
I have
That's an
one,
intro.
Okay, thank you.
I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Sure.
So, with the climate that we're in, it's really, I know
It's
for
gorgeous
people,
out here.
I know,
I recommend sunblock.
but within
bucket hat.
the
layering.
community,
Yeah.
and there's those young people out there who listen to our, if you're a young, we tell you this all the time, do not listen to our show. But there
Yeah.
are some
Yeah.
that live in those small towns where they feel they are the only queer person,
Okay.
and they feel very trapped.
Isolated.
that.
How,
Yeah.
what kind of, like, advice, message you would give them to that
I got
one?
the ABCs.
There you go.
Love
I got
Get
the
it.
ABCs.
Yes.
And
The
especially
A,
for anybody else who just is
Right.
finding it a hard time to get through the time
Right.
we are in, especially for the queer, the gay community. Like sometimes a lot of people feel lost right now. They don't know what to do
I get that.
and
All right.
hopeless.
So here, I got the ABCs. So the A can be a lot of different things, but A is primarily about acknowledging yourself. Allow yourself to be who you are, all right? access yourself. That's first. Like this I'm talking to all the people out there who are listening to this podcast now and in the future. And if you feel that you're that small person without a voice and you feel oppressed and everything is around there, it's okay. Look at yourself in the mirror and first of all, acknowledge who you are. First of all, know yourself.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be who you are. That's the A part, right? There's a lot of A words out there. Acknowledge it and own it, right? The B part is to be brave. So once you know who you are, gather yourself in whatever armor you can. Okay, so I look at myself, and in the morning, I decide, am I going to manifest today like this? Am I going to be something else? And then I'm brave because I know that this stuff that I put on is my armor, right? You will put on clothes, and you will put on a certain sense of yourself, of bravery. So A, acknowledge who you are, allow yourself to be. B is be brave, and then C is have the courageous conversation. And that means that you need to start picking people close to you who know you deeply, who have a tie, who have some sort of intersectionality, like your coworker, your commuting friend, or your best friend in your circle. And I know it's hard, but it takes one step because you want to surround yourself with allies. And if they're friends with you, if they love you and they care about you and you acknowledge who you are and you're brave and you hold a courageous conversation, then you've got someone else on your side.
Yeah.
And one person can then become two people. Sometimes I've heard some of the most amazing stories of a person just coming out to their best friend or one person in their family, and it makes a whole difference of world, right? And then that may not be true for everybody. It may be a challenge to find that one person, but it's always, you never know.
Yeah.
It could be random, but you also need to know who's around you who you can trust.
100%. Yes.
And the honesty of acknowledging yourself and being brave, that honesty in many, many more instances does result in a bigger ally who will be behind you and who can help you through these things. So I know what it's like to be in a small town. I grew up whitewashed. I'm actually half Filipino, half Irish, but I grew up very Republican, very Catholic. I grew up very straight-laced. I had to hide my Asianness. I had to conform. I had to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Until I kind of found myself and I was like, wait a minute, that's not who I am. But I knew that. And even growing then, I looked for people who could be on my side. And it's tough.
Yeah.
That's why I say you got to look at yourself because this stuff has to come from within.
Yeah.
And that's what I can say is that we as people, we don't know our own strength. And we have to sometimes get out from behind our own fears. Yeah. And that's why it's the ABCs, and you got to do it yourself in the mirror because I as a very out person, a very out loud, talkative, expressive individual, I look at myself every morning, every once in a while, I have to look in the mirror and acknowledge who I am, be brave, and hold a courageous conversation with any number of people. And it's not just about being LGBT or the activism in my life. Sometimes it's holding people accountable at work. It's the same thing, right? You don't let people disobey the law at work. You shouldn't let people disobey the law in life either.
Yeah.
So it's the ABCs: acknowledge, brave, and courageous conversation.
I love that. This has been
amazing. This has been
absolutely
so great.
I know. I can talk to
I've
you
had
all
a ball.
day.
It's been
Sister
great.
Amanda.
Well, let me get another
Sister
cocktail.
Amanda.
We'll do another conversation.
How do
Let's talk
people,
about all
if
that.
people are interested in donating to the San Diego chapter of the Sisters, how
Right.
do they do that? Give them all the information.
Right. So we are.
Or
we
if
are,
they want to even
we
contact
take a lot
you
of donations.
personally.
We do our website is sdsisters.org, sandiegosisters.org. Okay. And right now, a lot of the donations, a lot of the work we're doing is focused towards the ACLU Drag Defense Fund, which is part of this Trans March. So this is
yes, please talk about the Trans March.
This is the Drag March for Trans Rights. We're holding it on Sunday, June 18th. It's in uptown San Diego, so we do know that you probably have a reach in North County and East County. And here's the thing, just what we've talked about, there are people out there just showing your support and being out there and understanding that there's a lot of it out there. And our people who perform and live in these communities live out in East and North County, right?
Yeah, they do.
1 or 2 zip codes away from any number of blue and progressive areas is an equally as progressive and very conservative. So this Drag March for Trans Rights, Sunday, June 18th, it's a bunch of us getting together to make sure that the community understands that we're together, we're behind it.
Yes.
We want to, and it's basically all the stuff that I've just talked about, acknowledging that this is self-expression, that trans people are every people, that there are people who cannot hide who they are, and we need to stand up and make sure that everyone has their own ability and right for an existence. So we're going to start at Urban Mo's. From noon to 3, we're going to do like poster making, sign making.
Oh, cool.
The Sisters of San Diego of Perpetual Indulgence, we're going to be there coaching people on what to say. We're going to be helping people understand what's going on. And then we're going to do a march and a rally from
3 to 3:30
Urban Mo's to
to
Riches from
Yeah.
3 to 3:30. And then at Riches, we're going to do an outside rally. And it's going to be right on the edge of the street so that we can have all ages available to see and hear
And
it.
then
We're going to broadcast
some
all
of
on
the
street.
speakers is one of our podcast friends, Strawberry Corn Cake.
Yeah, Strawberry
Judy,
is the leader of
Nicole
that,
Murray, and Todd Gloria, our
Yes.
mayor, is going to be there. And Joseph
Roche is the local
Yeah.
representative. So
Yeah, wait,
all these-
is Strawberry organizing?
Strawberry's on the organizing
Oh,
committee. All of
nice.
us are on this organizing
Love
committee.
Strawberry.
We're all doing
She's
a lot of
been
work
on
with
the
it.
show so many times.
Yes, yes.
Love
and,
Strawberry.
And this is we're going to be there, and
Yeah.
she's going to tell a little bit of her story. We're going to
She
have
has
a rally.
a great,
Love that.
amazing story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you guys haven't, go back to Strawberry's episode where she she went in deep on her story.
Yes.
It was great. But also a lot of our friends of the podcast are going to be
gonna be
performing.
there,
The Glam family. I mean, Miriam.
Miriam.
That cow, I hate her.
And so
Miriam's
the-
gonna be
yeah.
No, I love Miriam.
Yeah, and so this all comes with the
Dixie Dixon
message of
Sounds.
support.
Amber St. James, one of our
yeah.
past guests who is amazing
Yes.
on the show.
Amazing, yeah.
Young activist, very well spoken,
Amazing.
and
Yeah.
she's doing a lot of stuff in the community
That's so
too.
cool.
It's gonna be a cool event. I know I'm gonna be there. We're gonna be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Support
Yay.
it.
Well, look me up. Yes,
Yes,
we'll
for
be
sure.
up there.
I am so happy you came and talked to
I know,
us.
this
It's
was
been so much
amazing.
fun.
Thank
I'm
you
glad
so
to meet you
much.
guys.
Yes, very
and
good to meet you.
I really think our audience and the people who are going to be listening to this are going to find you
They're gonna love it.
completely inspired.
I'm available for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and funerals. When I'm hungry, I'll do a bris. It's
You
just
can
great.
come to my
Absolutely.
funeral.
There you go. You guys, we will be right back. Thank you once again, Sister
You're welcome.
Amanda.
My pleasure.
Hi, we're back. We've been breaking all day.
Yeah.
But we are winding up here out at the fair. Oh, it's been a lot of fun today.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, you guys, if you didn't go to Out at the Fair this year, you guys check it out next year. They do it every year. And Out at the Fair is going to be doing most of the county fairs around San Diego, or not San Diego, California. And other places too. So check them out at the fair on Instagram or their website, outatthefair.com, I believe.
I love it. It feels like this really nice, safe space to be gay and be yourself and see some entertainment, food.
Some really good entertainment today.
Yeah.
And just a big shout out to Will at Out at the Fair, who does Out at TV, for having us this year. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
You know what I've really been struck by is that it really is this little enclave, and the people who don't want to be here stay away, so it's not super crowded. But it's so beautiful, and there's kids, and there's families,
and it's very family oriented.
Yeah, it's great.
They did the cutest drag queen fitness.
Yeah,
with the
Zumba.
Land O'Lakes.
With
Yeah.
Land O'Lakes,
We're
very
Zumba.
cute.
Yeah. I'm
Where
like,
she came out in like a 80s jazzercise outfit.
and the kids were
the kids were going crazy.
Yeah,
to do
it was
little,
adorable.
she was explaining why exercising
It was
is important,
yeah.
and it was so
And even
cute.
they're doing the drag show right now is wrapping up, but they have been doing all of your gay anthems, which is really spreading for the kids in the audience.
Exactly.
Really strong message of inclusion,
Yes.
and being yourself, and just accepting other people. I think it's been great the way that they're ending the Out at the Fair day, and it was really cool that the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence did a little speech before the drag
they
show
gave
came
a blessing.
on.
Yeah.
A blessing. It was really
Very
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Bill was talking to us. I hope I'm not blowing up a spot a little bit before the drag show off camera.
Yeah.
Where he was saying, with everything going on, it just felt like it would be really powerful to have them come up.
Yeah.
And just give a little spiritual blessing and just really cement the positivity that is trying to be sort of given
Yeah,
forth here today, and
it
it
was
was
good.
very cool. It was like,
And for everybody who came to our little booth in the corner and said hi, I'm glad. I hope you follow us and listen to us. We met a lot of really cool people today. It was something. I want to give a shout out to Zebon and Arron from VIDA Community who came by, and Sister Amanda from the Sisters.
Sister Amanda was amazing.
Yes, and Teddy Martin, who came on first.
Yes. Everyone that came
I'm
on.
trying to think who else. And the San Diego cheer team. They were so much fun. Yeah. It was cool, like just chatting it up with a bunch of people.
Yeah, it was a fun day.
Yeah. What was your favorite part? Oh, except for the food. What was your favorite part?
So the most endearing part was watching the little girl give the lei to the drag queen.
Oh, I know. That was so cute.
I thought that was really endearing.
So for our audience there, one of the drag queens did Lady Gaga's You Were Born This Way, came out and performed, and towards the end of the song, this little girl came up to the drag queen and gave her a lei, a lei.
The best part about the fair, though, is the people watching.
The people watching, for sure.
And the people watching here is amazing.
And the eye candy, and yes.
I mean, that's been pretty good.
My favorite part has been like just meeting new people and getting the word out about the show.
Yeah.
And how interesting it is that within our LGBTQ plus community, a lot of people didn't even know there was a gay podcast in San Diego.
You have to come out more.
Yeah. Or they're not like regular podcasters.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you can always follow us on YouTube and watch us the video on YouTube at Who Invited Her. So, what was your favorite part, Brynne?
My favorite part, I think, has been like it being able to connect with the people that walk up and we're like talking to people and
hearing some really interesting stories.
And like, some like really vulnerable and sweet and nice stories about people and what like being out at the fair means to them. And
and there was one lady who came up, and she's starting her queer journey.
Yes, she's just now beginning her queer journey, and that was so cool.
Yeah,
Chuck, I said, good luck on your journey. It's just cool to be able to connect with people in that
and
way.
And then the lesbian couple we met, one of them is a nun, and she was a nun and then went into the military.
Wow.
Wild.
And an interracial couple, one white and one Latina, and they were very interesting to talk to.
I just love that. I have been trying to get you guys to watch the Queer Ultimatum for weeks, but it took an interracial lesbian nun to get you to go. That sounds fine.
That sounds good.
That sounds good. Let me watch that.
I'll do that.
Brynne, your friend. I've been asking you.
My bad.
Fine.
My bad.
Whatever gets us there in the end. You
Yeah.
know?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But no, this has been a great event. I'm hoping we get to do it again next year.
amazing.
I love doing a live event like
Yeah,
this.
this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The time
If you guys,
flew. And,
next time come out at the fair. Or if you're in other parts of California, look for where they're going to be. It's a great event. It's a safe event for our gay community. So that's what I really and
felt
it's very
safe.
family oriented too, which is nice.
It's nice.
So cool.
And a very special big shout out to firefighter Steven for running the board and helping us.
Yes.
Thank you, Steven.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Steven.
But you guys, that is our Out at the Fair.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. How do people find you? Let's
can
wrap
find me
it up the normal way.
You can find me on Instagram at DaddyBearEric.
You can find me on Instagram at @RealBrynneMac.
And you can follow me at Stony_Baloney_Macaroni on Instagram. The show is Who Invited Her _podcast on Instagram. And we are Who Invited Her SD on Facebook and Twitter. You can always email us at thegang@whoinvitedher.net. And if you have any questions or want to reach out to anybody that we interviewed today, they will be in the show notes, so you can click it down there. Don't forget to subscribe to us. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe and notification button and give us a good follow. And this has been really fun.
This has been so much fun.
You guys, our next show, I'm really excited for. We have a very special guest coming on, Flamey Grant, local singer-songwriter who I'm obsessed with her album right now. So I'm very, very excited to talk to her next.
I can't wait. I love the name in itself.
I know, Flamey Grant.
It's amazing.
But you guys, that is it for us. Big thank you to Steven and Out at the Fair and Will. Bye, you guys. Bye.